So here we're with Tommy Furey, who is the co-manager of the INFOMAR Programme. So Tommy, could you please tell us what's your involvement, what's your role in managing the programme?
I'm based in the Marine Institute and we have a team of 12 INFOMAR staff in Galway. We are operational, we do a lot of work on data and we do an awful lot of work more recently, particularly in more recent years, in value-added exploitation of the data. We do a lot of work with making the data into integrated products and we get this onto the internet, onto the websites, and we've pushed them out through the new website that you've seen launched here today.
And for how many years you've been working in the Institute? I remember the first time we met in 2001, you were in GSI, I think.
Yeah, I've been in Ireland on this programme since 2000. I came back the year after the official launch in Athlone. And I worked as a contractor for a couple of years with Global Ocean Technologies, and I see Kieran Lawless here today, so it's nice to see people who've been around since the start of the programme.
As of now, you've been managing INFOMAR Programme from the side of Marine Institute for the last 10 years. And in your perception, what are the key differences between the way the programme been run in 2008 and the way it's going in 2018 in terms of
there's been phenomenal changes. Yeah, we've always had an effort to make sure that we use the state-of-the-art technology and the latest and best available positioning and mapping systems. We've had a whole suite of new vessels, particularly in the Geological Survey. In the Marine Institute, we've just announced the tender for design of a new vessel to replace the Celtic Voyager. It's coming towards its end of life. And the vessel we will replace it with will be about half the size of the Voyager and the Explorer. So it's going to be
larger than the Voyager.
Yeah, it will be larger than the Celtic Voyager. So that will again bring us into a space where we have more access to the bigger ship, to the Celtic Explorer, to go right south in the Celtic Sea to the bottom of the economic exclusive zone. The current ship builds that will come on stream will facilitate taking some of the fisheries mapping and stock assessment work from the Celtic Explorer, she's oversubscribed.
And tell me, do you notice any differences between the skills of staff involved in actually doing the work in 2008 and in 2018?
We started this process with people who were completely new to marine geology and marine geoscience, myself included. I guess I came from a 3D seismic background. We are now at a point where we have a team of individuals who are working on the mapping, the vessel operations. They go and they mobilize ships, they bring in students, they train people, they mentor PhD students, they're involved in international research and technology development support. So the evolution of this programme, as you've seen yourself through your years of involvement, has really come through, and we have a mature team of very, very technically competent people. And my hope is that in the coming years we can start to double the research, training and development that happens behind the programme, and really build out the collaboration with the ever-increasing global network of mapping communities and organisations with which we deal. We're very fortunate because of our international reputation, because of the awareness globally of what Ireland has done, which is unique, and this is this full-scale cohesive seabed map. People come to us, they want to bring similar programs to their own governments. They work on their own cost-benefit analysis based on the first one that was done globally by Ireland back in 2008. And they want to learn how do we deliver, or how can they deliver the economic benefits that are expected to go with seabed mapping. Economic benefits for fisheries, for aggregate extraction, for infrastructural development, for marine spatial planning, but sustainability as well. This whole resource management and sustainable development of our resources is critical.
So as we know, the INFOMAR Programme, it's jointly managed by the Geological Survey of Ireland and the Marine Institute. And from your point of view, what is the reason for having two management centres?
It's been extremely powerful and beneficial for us because two organisations with different remits, it has brought different scientific disciplines together, and that's been the real benefit of INFOMAR. It's this idea of getting a biologist to be able to communicate with a geologist, understood by a geophysicist, and it's, you know, we have fisheries activity, we have oil and gas, we have multiple sectors, shipping, transport. We have so many different actors in the marine space, and because we have the whole broad spectrum of disciplines covered between the two organisations, it's allowed us to bring our own political connectivity and our own scientific support mechanisms and our own different funding streams to the table to continue this endeavour. And we're here in Kinsale today because the vessels were operational on this whole south coast, and one of the most impressive maps we've created to date is on the wall over there, and it's this south coast merged multi-beam bathymetric data set which runs almost into the beach. And Kinsale was host to the vessels for quite a period of the season just gone by, and we've been able to bring the local community, the divers, the fishermen, the people with the real interest in what we're doing, and they've seen these boats coming and going, and they've seen some charts and maps, but it's really been a brilliant focus to bring all of the different players to the table here today. And it's probably the most mixed seminar agenda we've had to date. We've had everything from marine spatial planning through to fisheries, through to wind energy, potential renewable energy development.
Okay. Tommy, and if you compare the technology which was available to produce the mapping in 2008 and the technologies which are used at present in 2018, from your point of view, what are the main technological advantages 10 years after
the main difference is system improvement, allowing better quality, higher resolution data. The technology to deliver the data has really vastly, dramatically improved, and we're now in the position where we can go back with more accurate positioning, cleaner data.
Okay,
that's
so
actually
the resolution
really,
and positioning
the
main aspects.
And the quality of the data that you can acquire with a modern system that's been released in the last 3 years allows you to acquire data which you will spend maybe 30% of the time to process. It's so clean. The other key development is the newer multi-beam systems that we use also allow water column data. So we used to get depth and hardness of the bottom. We now have water column data which allows us to look at internal waves, dynamics, thermoclines, things that are happening within the water column. And as we move forward, this starts to be really powerful information in terms of in the Celtic Sea, looking at dynamics associated with ridge features on the bottom, which is causing really complex oceanographic situations within the water column.
So what are the goals of the program for the next year, for 2019?
2019, for me, really, I want to drive forward the whole education agenda, the value-added program delivery into the directives, these new directives, particularly marine spatial planning. We need to develop new products and data gaps, fill data gaps rather, to support the implementation of these directives.
Okay. And the last question, from your point of view, what are the main applications of the data that are being acquired through the INFOMAR program? What are the main practical applications?
The most obvious application is in hydrography, and people forget that that's really where this starts. Safe shipping, navigation, getting vessels in and out of port safely. And, for me, when we get into physical resources and biological resources, that's where the real potential of INFOMAR data will come into play. We will have information that will allow us to look out into the Atlantic to assess what's on our shelf. We think of the shelf as just being a surface, but there's a subsurface. We need to get out there and do shallow geophysical studies and look at the upper shelf potential resources, not just the oil and gas deep down kilometres below. So we have huge work yet to do. Marine renewables is an area that has gone a little bit quiet for a period. We did some work on the test sites for the quarter scale test site in Galway and the full scale test site in Mayo some years ago, and that is driving forwards hopefully. We've seen the live footage coming from the Galway site, so we have fibre optic cable, we have power there, we have test devices out there, so there's a lot of work happening with instrumentation development as well.